Lesley Smith has a mission. She's on a mission to uplift the world. One audience and one person at a time with love, with heart, power, and laughter. Her passion is empowering individuals and groups to connect with the still small voice, to reveal the life and the love and the peace of all beings. Lesley began her training, her spiritual training in a spiritual healing method over 30 years ago with Lawrence LaShawn Consciousness Training Institute, and serves clients around the globe with private readings and healings in the area of health, career, and relationships. On the public side, she has toured the world as a New England Foundation for the Arts transformational entertainer. I like that. We only invite transformational entertainers. And she's an expert in conflict resolution with the connection practice, which I have recently experienced at Unity Village. Connection practice trainer. She's a singer-songwriter, world-class ventriloquist. She's a founding member of Unity on the River in Amesbury. She has served on the board at that church in Amesbury. She's been the interim music director. She has 3 beautiful sons, lives and works and travels with her very talented and funny husband, Mark, who's running the camera back there. She's not offering a workshop today, but she is available for private lessons and consultations, and anyone who signs up with her today gets a 25% discount on any of her future sessions. Please see her after the service. She also has a table of some of her CDs and other materials out there. We want to give a warm and incredible welcome, Cape Cod welcome, to Lesley Smith.
Thank you, Tony. I think I'm on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's my privilege to be here. I'm just so grateful to be back in this community. It's been a while. It has. And I think the last time I was here I was doing a show at night, and then we had some fun the next morning with some of my characters. So I promise you that we're going to have some fun today as well. But first I'd like to open up with a song. It's kind of like a prayer, so we'll go back into that meditative state. And this is the Grace Prayer, and it's on the CD that's out in the lobby. So we'll just be praying it up today, I think, and meditating it up. So hang on to your seats. So you can close your eyes if you want, or you can just look softly down to the ground, or you can do whatever you would like. But let's do the grace prayer. So, I like to place my hand on my heart as well. For thee I thirst, holy of holies, my Prince of Peace, my beloved one. Into thy hands I do commit me, my body, spirit, soul, and all problems. Reveal, Lord, that which needs to be revealed, Lord, and so tenderly, and heal, Lord, that which needs to be healed, Lord, and also completely. Thy will is my will, thy way is my way, thy will be done through me in perfect love. Heal me at death, heal me completely, fade so free on the wings of a dove. Reveal now that which needs to be revealed, Lord, and so tenderly, and heal, Lord, so I may glorify thy Holy Spirit and live in fullness of your grace. I'm born anew with sweet surrender and open heart. I take my place. Reveal now that which needs to be revealed, Lord, and so tenderly, and heal now that which needs to be healed, Lord, and also completely. Heal my unforgiveness. Heal my community. Heal my separateness. Thy will be done. It is finished. Amen. Namaste. I see the Christ in you. It's from this feeling nature that all healing happens. And when I was young and I had children and I had looked for love in all the wrong places. And I want you to know I got my doctorate in love. Love is a battlefield, and you're going to love me or else. And I could not for the life of me find peace of mind. And I journeyed to a lecturer, Larry Dawsey, who was speaking on the power of prayer. And I went up to him at the end. He must have thought I was this frantic, crazy woman. I really need spiritual healing. I need to know where there's a place to go for spiritual healing. And he said, well, you need to go down to Lawrence Lashan's Consciousness Training Institute. They're doing the most magnificent research on the power of healing and the power of spiritual healing, and that's the place you need to go. So I went, hoping I was going to be healed, but I got there, and I was, unbeknownst to me, I was now a student enrolled in the practice of spiritual healing, local and non-local. And this was about 30 years ago. And it was just, of course, what the divine had in store for me. It wasn't this one-time healing that I was going to have, but to learn about what happens across the world and all the practices. How do people have healings based on spirit? And he had discovered that everybody goes into an altered state. And that altered state of oneness is where the healing happens. When two or more gather in thy name, then the healing happens. The healing is complete. So I'm so grateful that set me on that journey of God. Because back then I couldn't say those 3 letters because it represented for me authority and everything I didn't like, basically. And I didn't have a relationship with the God of my own understanding, so I was like, don't say those words or I'm going to have to actually get up and leave. So I have had a complete and total turnaround. I think part of my issues were growing up in the military. Has anybody here grew up in the military? Oh, we got another military brat, as they call us. I think that's because if you do or say anything that is out of line, you're a brat. But basically, it's a fortress. For those of you that haven't been on an Air Force base or a military base, growing up there's barbed wire and machine guns and pistols and attack dogs, and you get on the base by going through the gate with the pistols and looking in, military police looking in your eyes, and that is got to be the most fearful place in the world for a little girl, a little ultra-sensitive girl who, at that point in time, as a very young age, I was, hearing and like all of us, reading everyone's mind and emotion. So, by the grace of God, my father was stationed in Montgomery, Alabama when I was 5 years old, and I went to Southern Baptist Bible School, and that started my relationship with Jesus. And so they say that everything that happens to you from age 0 to 7 is now the belief system that you're operating out of. So whatever was happened from age 0 to 7, those subconscious beliefs are how we're acting out in the world and what we think about the world and what we think about each other. So thank goodness there was this little incredible, powerful insert of Jesus was going to be my healer. So that has carried me through even those dark times. But the love journey that we're talking about today, and then I'm going to share with you with some of my characters. I've had the good fortune to be able to play with dolls in public. And I brought some of those dolls for you to enjoy too. Mrs. Fiona Biddle is here today, and the Sammy Snail is here today. And the other thing that I want you to walk away with before the end of this brief talk is a technique that we use to drop down into our hearts, into an altered state, so that we can access the space of oneness, where all healing begins. So this love journey isn't about relationships. It's not about fixing my relationship with my parents, which I have been able to do by the grace of Spirit. But it's the love journey is coming home. It's that place coming home to ourselves, coming to the God within. Or you might have a different word for higher power. Yours might be divine, it might be spirit, it might be goddess, it might be animals, it might be the ocean. I mean, it might be something very unique to you. And that is so cool. Because whatever it is that turns on that love light inside of you is the divine. But how do we access that state of love when we are in the midst of sometimes some very difficult circumstances? So there's got to be a technique to go quick and fast, and I have been trained in it, and I want to share it briefly with you today as well. Some of us here on their love journey might describe it as kind of a roller coaster. Too many partners, too much emotion, or maybe it was a desert, or is a desert, or a natural disaster that you're still recovering from. Or maybe some of you access that higher space and that love journey within your own heart effortlessly, and you have connected with Source on a daily basis, and for you it's just a matter of stepping in. But there are some of us here that haven't maybe ever done that, or maybe they just don't get to do it as often as they want. So my goal for you today is that you access that space in time. So without further ado, let's have some fun. Because I think we could. Oh, Mrs. Fiona Biddle. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, thank you all. But, dear, I think I'm going back to Reverend Fiona Biddle. Oh, I thought you retired. I did retire, so I could get some rest. But retirement is exhausting. There's too many things to do. So, my goodness gracious, I thought I would just catch up on my television shows. Now there are thousands and thousands of television shows, and you have to be a computer scientist to access them. My 7-year-old grandson programmed, actually my great-grandson, programmed my remotes. And he said, "Here, great-grandmama, it's easy." And it turns out it is if you're 7 years old.
I threw away 2 of my 3 remotes. The ones that turn on the television, and the other one that controls the volume. Thank you, dear. That was driving me crazy. Fortunately, you removed the barrier.
Thank you, Mrs. Biddle.
Excuse me, I'm talking.
Sorry, okay, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So I decided that it's humiliating not to be able to turn on your television set. So I'm returning to something that I am competent in. I have control. Ministry. Why, I can find someone that I can scare and shame into submission.
Oh, Reverend Biddle, this isn't that kind of church.
What other kind of church is there?
Well, it's not that kind. You don't shame and scare people here. This is about God and love and one power, one presence.
That's ridiculous.
No, really. That we're here to uplift and inspire people.
Well, how are you going to get people to do what you want? Isn't anyone afraid of hell in a handbasket?
No, not here.
Well, actually, I do not see one woman in a hat or wearing gloves. And I saw a man without shoes. What is this? Some kind of a Jimmy Buffett concert? Is Tony going to play Margaritaville? Or she likes walking in the rain and drinking pina coladas?
No. We're going to inspire people, the little God seeds inside each person to develop into a God cell.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. This is what it's all about, choosing love over fear, making a firm commitment and a firm decision every day in community to choose love. That's what we're all about here. That's what this community is for, to support one another.
Well, that's very interesting. You mean if I choose love and peace and give up fear and anger, I might have a totally different experience.
Yes. Do you think I could just show you a little technique that's very efficient for dropping into love?
Are you suggesting that you want to teach an old dog a new trick?
Not really.
Well, what if I don't want to learn? What if I think this is childish and naive?
Well, you can keep trying to do what you've always done and get what you've always gotten, or you could try something different.
What if I don't want to make myself vulnerable? What if I don't want to open my heart and be hurt by others?
Well, you could keep doing what you've always done and expect a different outcome, but that's really the definition of insanity. So maybe you could just try something new.
Well, I suppose so. You mean I could possibly join this community? How is the coffee? Is the food any good?
Well, right now we're going to focus on, let me just show you this technique.
Oh, all right. Go ahead. You're quite the sales girl.
So what we're going to do is just remove anything on our laps. It's just a little bit different style of meditation that you might be used to. And if you could just close your eyes.
I can't.
Then just look softly down at the ground. Just gaze down softly.
All right.
Now put your hand on your heart.
You do it.
Okay. All right. Okay, is everybody ready? We're going to put our hand on our heart as our other wonderful meditators showed us how. When we put our hand... Oh, Mrs. Biddle.
Now you're not going to complete the task.
No, there's just one thing I forgot to tell you. You have to decide what is the place or person or animal that you're going to focus on to bring yourself into a state of unconditional love. Can you think of something that you unconditionally love?
I love my dog, Mugsy, a cockapoodle.
Okay, then focus on Mugsy. So you need to pick something, a place in nature, an animal, or a baby, or something that brings you into a state of unconditional love. So it's 2 steps. And the first one, put your hand on your heart, and you're going to focus on your heart, Mrs. Biddle.
Very well.
Okay. So let's put our hands on our hearts. Focus on the area of the heart. And drop down, down, down into the heart. Allow yourself to drop down, down, down. Relax your belly, relax your shoulders, relax your face, and focus on the heart and drop down, down, down. Imagine that you're breathing into your heart, breathing in and breathing out. Pretend that you're breathing into the heart chakra itself, bypassing the lungs, slowing down the breath into a beautiful rhythm of inhale and exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. And now bring yourself into a state of appreciation, focusing on your dog or your place in nature, or a baby, and generate those feelings of love and gratitude. Feel that love expand in your heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me on this planet. I am so grateful, so thankful. Feel that love expand throughout your entire body temple. I am the love I am. Now gently bring yourself back into the room. Feel that love within your body temple expanding into this room and to all others here. And ask your heart, what does it want me to know? What do you want me to know? How does that feel, Mrs. Biddle?
Reverend Biddle, dear. Reverend Biddle. Well, I feel quite content and quite peaceful.
By accessing the love, generating the feeling of love, it heals the body, heals the mind, and heals our relationships. Tell me, Reverend Biddle, what did your heart want you to know?
None of your business. Well, actually, it said, treat yourself as if you were someone you really cared about.
Ooh, I love that.
Do you know the odds of the sperm and an egg coming together to create each of you? No. 1 in quadrillion chances. 1 in 4 quadrillion chances.
Wow, those are pretty bad odds.
So each of you is a miracle just by being here today. So go out and be the miracles you are. Now put me down. But who's the better speaker? You or me?
That wasn't very nice, Mrs. Biddle.
Well, I just want to keep you in your place. You think you're in control and you're not.
I didn't think I was in control.
Well, I am.
Why don't I just put you down?
Well, I was enjoying myself until next Sunday. Thank you, Mrs. Biddle.
So when we want to get good at the piano, we practice, right? When we want to get good at cooking, we want to get good at skiing, we want to get good at football, we want to get good at whatever it is, we practice daily. So why is it that those of us feel badly when we actually can't access our good feelings if we're and our good vibration of love, when it has to be practiced over and over and all day until we get good at it? Now, what would I bring in a bag with a star? It's got to be something that would be worth celebrating, and I think it is. So come on out, Mr. Little Guy.
Oh, look, Lesley. Look where we are. I know where I am. Do you know where you are?
Yes, I know where I am.
You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You guys are so beautiful to me. Oh, Sammy, Lesley,
Sammy, it's always so much fun to bring you out and be with something that creates unconditional love for me. That gets me in my heart space, and I can love you, and I can love you, and you can love me, and we can love each other.
today's a very special day.
What's today?
Turn to the person next to you and tell them, I love you.
You want them to turn it?
That's right.
Sam, I know it's a special day, but why are you telling everybody to turn to the person next to them?
Because today's Valentine's Day.
No, it's 3 days after Thanksgiving. It's 2 days after Black Friday. It's not Valentine's Day.
Well, it should be. And I want everybody to hold each other's hand and walk down the streets together and love each other and look at each other's eyes and just say, "You're so beautiful. I can't believe it."
Well, you are just like this giant love bug. Oh, I love it, Sam. And you still have a little bindi on your forehead.
From Amma gave it to me.
Amma, the saint, Indian saint. He went and he got a hug and he got a bindi. And how do you wash that off?
You don't.
That's right. You just don't. Well, Sammy, you are just as sweet as a button. And I love how you're able to go into that love state so effortlessly.
It's not hard, Lesley. You just do it.
Well, I know, but sometimes, you have some challenges in life. And I've had some challenges recently where I was going through some things, some really dichotomy. I was staying at a place in the evening where rich and famous go. And during the day, I was with people that were still haven't recovered from the hurricane. Their house tops have been ripped off and down in the islands. And rain comes in and they don't have what they need and the school's still destroyed. And then at night, we'd go and stay where the rich and famous stay. And the disparity was challenging. I had a hard time. And some of the people and...
Oh, Lesley, you forgot.
What?
You thought you were with adults, but everybody is just really 8 years old.
What?
Everybody's walking around. You think they're an adult, but they're 8 years old. Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're kind and loving, and they like to share, and other times they're not very nice. They're selfish, and they're not even being mean.
But they're just 8 years old?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of disappointing because I put a lot of faith and I put a lot of emphasis on that organizations and governments and people are going to be in integrity. And then when they say they're going to do something or that they're going to, on behalf of other people, that they're going to do it.
Ah, you forgot. They're just 8-year-olds.
But that's so disappointing.
It's not disappointing. Everybody's trying to grow up and wake up all together.
But then
You're putting your power in the wrong place.
what kind of a stuffed toy are you?
The enlightened kind.
Oh my gosh. So when somebody disappoints me, I just have to remember they're 8 years old.
That's right.
And I can't be angry or frustrated or because they're just immature. So we're all just walking around spiritually immature and
And we're all here on planet Earth School to have fun. And learn and grow together.
oh, so I
Don't have to take it so seriously.
oh, I can't get mad and stomp around and be sad. I just have to drop down into my heart, think of something I love unconditionally. I love being in nature on rocks. I love being in the water. I always feel such love and power and presence. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do.
That's right. Because I'm the love child. L-O-V-E, love.
Oh,
And you gotta be too.
well, what do you think else we need on this planet, Sam?
Just play a lot.
Play a lot. Really?
Mm-hmm. Laugh a lot, play a lot, have fun, and always remember the golden rule. Love the Creator with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself.
That's right.
Hit it, Charlie.
What's he going to hit?
What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
It's the only thing that there's just too little of.
What the world needs now
Is love, sweet love.
no, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain.
There are hillsides and
Rivers enough to cross,
there are mountains, oceans and rivers
enough to cross, enough to last.
till the end of time.
World needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing
That there's just too little of.
that the world needs now.
Is love, sweet love. No, not just for some.
But for everyone. Lord, we don't need any more meadows. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow.
There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine.
Listen, Lord,
If you want
to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Sing with us. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone of you and you and you, because you're the people I've been waiting for.
by coming together in community to create a safe place for all of us to grow, to go through all of our ups and downs together and come back each week and each day and in each activity reminding ourselves of why we're here, to step into love in all of our relationships.
So I'm gonna come back and check on you guys.
And thank you so much for letting us be a part of your lives today. And what else, Sam?
Well, I love you very much. I love you guys. I love you. You're my friends.
Say goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye, Sam.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.